Did you watch Biden's address last night? In the first place, I thought it was tonight. I think it was originally scheduled for tonight. And then they changed it and didn't tell me. And I've told Jen Psaki many times, when you make a change like that, Jen, I realize you're the president's press secretary, but for heaven's sake, let your good buddy Mike Malloy know. I guess she was otherwise detained, you think? Maybe. Anyway, so Biden did it last night, and boy, what a chat. Now, I understand. I keep having to make this stipulation so that my liberal friends, or my progressive friends, really, the liberals are satisfied, but the progressive friends, of which I certainly include myself in the progressive, I go so far as democratic socialism, which is not Joe Biden. But I've said a couple of times, and I need to say it again, I know that Biden is who he is, although he has drifted more to the left than I ever would have thought. The relief package that he signed into law, I think he already did that, or is he doing that tonight? Hell, I don't even know. But that relief package is about as far to the left in the current division of what's right, what's left, what's central, yada, 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 that Joe Biden has ever gone. And that's the truth. So, again, to my progressive friends, I realize the time is coming, maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday, maybe 6 months from now, but the time is coming where I, and a lot of people are going to find things about Biden's policies that we may not agree with. But having said that, I've got to add this, that having a president after 4 years of having a total asshole, just a belligerent son of a bitch in the office of the presidency, having a real president now feels like a relief. I mean, it does. It's like wandering in out of the desert, totally dehydrated, and somebody handing you a cold cup of water. So I watched last night and hung on every word. I didn't think that he was overly maudlin or emotional, although a couple of times I felt like he was reaching through the television to grab my hand and say to me, "All right, Mike, okay, Mike, did you agree? Is this okay?" Woo! But one thing that didn't happen, he didn't take some shitty victory lap like the orange bastard would have done, right? So if you were expecting that, or if you were expecting him to crow or boast about his achievements in just 50 days in office, for God's sake, then you were probably disappointed. He could have done that. Because after, as CNN points out, after 4 years of the orange bastard, we almost became accustomed to or expecting of every time the so-called president of the United States, that piece of human waste, Donald Trump, opened his mouth, there would be self-serving rhetoric come tumbling out, and it didn't happen last night. Biden's first primetime address last night was about as far removed from the kind of bullshit we've been hearing for Trump as you could possibly get and still be in this particular dimension. There was one point where it was almost, don't misunderstand now, it was almost scary. And I don't mean scary in the sense of, ooh, monsters are coming to get you, but almost scary because it felt like the fourth wall between Biden and me, in this case, it would be the television screen, that the fourth wall was about to collapse. And that's when he leaned on his lectern and kind of into the camera and he said, "I need you." Ah! need you. Wait a minute. Get back in the TV. I need you, he said. I need every American to do their part. Did you see that? I mean, that was quite a shock from what we've been used to. I mean, I don't even remember Obama getting even close to that. George W. Bush, certainly no. Bill Clinton, forget about it. But there he was. I need you. I need every American to do their part. And he said that if everyone agrees to get the COVID-19 vaccine, which is not going to happen because we have so many nutfucks in this society, just crazy, insane people, Christian fascists and anti-science people and Trumpists. And it's just like, it's like a huge section of a lab in some university where you have all these pathogens just laying there, just shit waiting to explode and do bad stuff, right? So not everyone is going to agree to get the COVID-19 vaccine. But he went on, if everyone does that, everyone wears a mask, like the CDC tells us to, he said, quote, by July the 4th, there's a good chance that we can get together again with neighbors and friends in small groups. A good chance. Well, I think we know that chance is diminished considerably when you consider the insanity of some of our so-called fellow citizens. These crazy son of a bitches who seem to feel that a mask, a simple thing like mask, to keep your filthy spittle to yourself, and in fact to protect you from somebody else's spittle, that somehow that's taking away your freedom. There's a very perverse part of me that wishes that all these people who are anti-mask, I'm talking about the adults now, not the children who have been brainwashed, but all the adults who've made such a big deal about this, if this is very, very sick of me to say it, but I got to say it, I just wish they'd all fall down dead. What? Yeah, every one of them. Just go on. Get out of here. Go to some other place. Get out of my face, my neighborhood, my city, my country. You dumb son of a bitches. Just go away. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck with that. After a year of what we have dealt with, and 4 years of this orange bastard, I would wish that on not just the people who are anti-mask, but these people who have lost their moorings in reality, and they now live in Trump world, in cucumber world, in oath keeper world, in conspiracy world, in this mad confection of insanity and bullshit and lies and deceit and trickery and imagery and phantoms. Oh my God. Here's the point. I don't think these people will ever come back. I don't. And I think they are going to be easily focused on destroying Joe Biden's presidency. We'll see. I don't think the majority of Americans are like that. The majority of Republicans are like that. Or the majority is like that. So we'll have to see what happens. I need you. That's what he said. And Biden was 20 minutes into the speech before he even mentioned that he had just signed into law that $2 trillion economic relief package, excuse me, that is, in fact, one of the most significant pieces of legislation in modern U.S. history. And one that will, I mentioned this the other day, it will change the lives of tens of millions of our fellow citizens. And he made this happen in less than 2 months of his presidency. Wow. You got to give him credit for that, don't you? Oh, I know there's bitching and wheedling and whining and cursing and foot stomping and pouting on the far left. I get that. And someday something will come up that I'll be in that group too, probably. But not now. Not last night, not today. What Biden did last night, instead of the self-serving bullshit, the boasting, the standing there with his face hanging open like Trump used to do, not even able to put together a coherent paragraph, a sentence, much less a paragraph. But Biden offered a compassionate, moving, and as CNN says, at the same time, uplifting and inspiring speech. Wow. Last time I heard that was from Obama, so something even closely related to that. And even Obama has not lived the life necessary to, this is not a slam on Obama, it's just a fact. But Obama hasn't lived the life, and I hope he never does, that would make necessary the kind of compassion and understanding and sympathy that Joe Biden has at age 78. I wouldn't wish that, what Biden has gone through, all the death in his family, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Well, okay, Trump. But beyond that, okay, the Trump supporters. Okay, the people who won't wear masks. But I mean, as compassionate and understanding as Obama was and tried to be, and again, that's not a slam, that's just the way it is. You can talk the talk, but if you haven't walked the walk, there's a huge element missing, right? Biden has been there. So his compassion and his understanding is legitimate. I mean, it's real. It's authentic. So he was able to offer what to me was an uplifting and inspiring speech, while at the same time acknowledging all the losses that we've suffered. We're getting closer and closer to 550,000 dead Americans. More than, I'm not going to quote it again, but all the wars that we've ever fought in, with the exception of the Civil War. In 1 year. And not soldiers, old men, old women, children, auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa, black, white, Jew, Gentile, Americans. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.